Okay, so let's get started. So in the beginning of my talk, so I want to talk a little bit about myself. So I designed Arduino Feel, so in collaboration with Starfan Electronics. It was roughly 10 years ago. So, and I published many books about the maker movement. For instance, a way of do prototyping, so or maybe generate ideas, or maybe utilizing a toolkit. So and I have been the general director of Ogaki Minimaker Fair since 2010. So last time was 2018. So there were roughly 140 maker teams and 7,000 visitors. So and hopefully, so we will hold the Minimaker Fair again. So in the end of this month, this year. Okay, so I want to also introduce the situation of COVID-19 in Japan, so briefly. So the declaration of state of emergency, so it was so issued in the beginning of April, so for 7 of 47 prefecture. So and 1 week later, so it expanded coverage to the entire country. So and May 14, so 1 week ago, so lifted except for 7 prefectures in the Tokyo metropolitan area and Kansai area, so including Kyoto. So and the day before yesterday, so lifted except for 4 prefectures in the metropolitan area. So and hopefully, so expected to be lifted. So next week, including the Tokyo metropolitan area. So I'm not sure. But and so far no lockdown. So but schools were closed and asked to refrain from going out. So we have to stay at home. So and as of May 21, the total number of people infected was about 16,000, and the total number of deaths was about 800. So this is the situation of COVID-19 in Japan. So I am not sure what will happen. So what is called the second wave, third wave, I'm not sure. So that please understand the situation is like this. And okay, so let's talk about Maker Faire Kyoto. So Maker Faire Kyoto, so was originally scheduled to be held on May 2nd and 3rd in the rural area of Kyoto. So, but the Maker Faire Kyoto 2020 online, so held on May 2nd, 2020. So, and it was probably the first Maker Faire in the world to be held online. So I consider that the best part of Maker Faire is that many makers and visitors come together at the same venue to see what they made, talk to each other, so and spread the joy of making, and meet people they've never met before. The Maker Faire, the online Maker Faire, proves that this is also possible online. So with 957 works from 394 makers between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. So and several thousands of related tweets from those. So actually, so that was huge success, I think. So and the program consisted of 2 main components. The first was presentation of the works on Twitter. So the category was like this. So kids, education, design, craft, art, turf, assistive technology, food, mobility, so robotics, so electronics, music. So, and these 2 categories are new and dedicated for their online Maker Faire. So DIY for preventing infection, DIY for working from home. And the second one was 2 online panel discussions. So the first one was the mindset as a maker. So, and second one was what makers can contribute to the world since COVID-19. Yes. So let me briefly show the a part of works. So as I mentioned before, so there were 987. So it's not possible to cover all works. So that's why. So I randomly picked movies from tweets. So and share with you via this presentation. And the huge works, roughly 1,000 works by roughly 400 makers, were truly diverse. So as you see, and it was really fun to see online. So yes, so let me show a little bit more. So with many video footages, hopefully, oops, oh, too heavy to play. But anyway, so as the event became online, so there was a succession of work from the past. So in addition to those scheduled to be exhibited at the Maker Faire Kyoto 2020, so therefore the Twitter timeline seemed to be a compilation of more than a decade of the maker movement in Japan. So it was fantastic. So many things from electronics, food, mobility. So it was really interesting. Okay, so the two new categories are DIY for infection prevention and DIY for working from home. So also received a variety of submissions. So it was really interesting. So except even really short time call for makers. Oops, I'm sorry. So I have a problem about Keynote. So please wait a little bit. Oops. Okay. Let me try again. Ooh. Okay. So the makers responded creatively to the situation that it had gone from on-site to online. So for example, so introduced the process of getting there in addition to the final product. So, or attempted to broadcast from the field where the work was motivated initially. So, others, some people exhibited works that are difficult to show in physical space, in VR space. Let me show examples. So this person presented a detailed description of the process from idea to final product. At an on-site maker fair, it is sometimes difficult to talk in depth, so because there are so many exhibitors and visitors all at once. However, so if you are online, so you can spend as much time as you want to look at the details. So, and the person introduced the process, really detailed the process, and that was fantastic. And this is very important for people who want to replicate or develop derivatives of it. So that was really interesting way to exhibit online. So, and this person was an exhibitor at the assistive technology category. The person tweeted like this shortly after the cancellation of the on-site event was announced. So he said, so I'm sorry it's canceled, but I'd like to use a room in my house and do a remote exhibition on my own. So I can show visitors how my kids use my works daily. So, and it's more suitable for my concept. So by the way, so this is my translation. So it's not 100% accurate, but anyway, so in addition to posting a blog post about the works that were to be exhibited, the person also tried to connect their home online during the event to show the actual site where they were being used. So that was really interesting. So, and some of the makers have put images of their workshops online, where they create their works. So it should be fun for the makers. So if we want to see how interesting works made. Okay, so and this person performed an exhibition in real space. So that was impossible in physical space. So usually, there is a limit to the physical space that can be allocated to a maker at a maker fair. So on the other hand, a maker can freely arrange their works and documents in a BL space. So that was a really creative way to show works. So and many people joined the space and enjoyed the exhibition. So not only seeing their object in the space, so they could see, read documents and watch movies in that space. Okay, so let me summarize regarding Maker Faire Kyoto 2020 online. So I have roughly three lessons learned from Maker Faire 2020 online. So online is not a version of on-site. So what we feared when the online version announced. So online is kind of how to say the poor version of on-site, but actually it was a huge success. So and maybe a hybrid of on-site and online is the future of Maker Faire. So and actually, Maker Faire 20 Tokyo 2020, scheduled to be held in the beginning of October, will be a hybrid. So and I believe that the Maker Faire Tokyo will get really big success. So by combining on-site and online, so it was really interesting. So, and let me talk about the session at Maker Faire Kyoto 2020 online. So the title of the session was What Makers Can Contribute to the World Since the COVID-19 Pandemic. So let me briefly introduce the background. So why I proposed that session. So in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, so mainly in the United States and Europe, the Plan C, C stands for community. So for the sites of the medical collapse was attracting attention. So that was really interesting. And maybe many of you already read articles to make. So, and if we want to be involved in a field, where expertise is required and safety is essential. So we didn't know what we should know and pay attention to. So that's why so many people, many makers struggled. So they wanted to do something for their emergency sites. But they don't know how. And so they have no relationship to that kind of sites. So because that's the why. So I wanted to let people know that there are many other fields where makers can contribute in addition to the medical field. So that's the background of the session. So and so three speakers, including me, joined the session. So the first person is Hayashi-san. So she is an occupational therapist, as well as a founder of FabLab Shinagawa. So and the second person was Ruike-san. So he is a magazine.jp contributor. And he lives in Southern Europe. So Reikeson reported on how the makers executed Plan C and what happened behind in Spain, where the infection exploded and medical care collapsed. He reported that the trust that had been fostered before the COVID-19 pandemic was influential in the context of being able to act quickly in Spain. And then Hayashi-san pointed out that makers are people who are ready to take action. So she has been working to help people who need PPE. PPE stands for personal protective equipment. So at the care sites in medical and welfare. So by helping those who need those equipment be able to create with confidence. So she is also involved in providing safety information for people who are trying to provide what they make to others. So this is a perspective that has not been much an issue at the maker movement so far. So for more information, so there is an archive of the day on YouTube. So if you are interested, so the session was in Japanese, but maybe you can, roughly catch the content by seeing the subtitles. So in relation to the session, so we created a kind of forum, so COVID-19 Makers Forum JP as our Slack workspace. So it was launched on April 2, so with the announcement of that this session. So there were 184 participants at the moment. So and there were 1,004 messages posted by May 2nd. So let me show the profile of participants. Here's the summary of participants. The main areas of expertise are education, research, software, and hardware with few medical professionals. So regarding the open source experience, just under 60% of the respondents said they have experience with it. And let me show the type of project. So what type of project do you want to design? So first one category was, so make something for us to stay at home. And the last category was to make something for us to create new jobs. So the main concerns of the participants are something that will help people prevent infections and what they need to do stay at home. And of course, so some participants were interested in creating something that medical professionals urgently need in the medical field. However, so because of the expertise required and necessity of some kind of connection to the actual field to understand the real needs, not many were able to connect to actual action. So to facilitate interaction between the participants, so we created channels on Slack. So let me briefly introduce major channels and posts. So medical information, cases, ideas, needs, and 50 ways to keep things fun and declare the state of emergency. So in the needs channel, so there were many posts. So I'm showing an excerpt. So and the need interesting for me was, for example, I want a mask for people with beards. So because I don't have beards, so I didn't understand such kind of need. So and maybe you might think, just a really minor. So but starting from really minor issue or problem, so will be developed so to cover more bigger needs. So that's why so sharing needs like this was really important to let people to start talking about. So and we also created a channel, so 50 ways to keep things fun and declare the state of emergency. So a part of those ideas are limited to makers. For instance, build your own CPU. So is not for ordinary people. So, but the other ideas like grow some vegetables, attend an online event, create a fanzine, blah blah blah. Is so those other ideas are also like I say, so helpful for many people. So I believe that so sharing ideas in the context of like this was helpful for people to spread thinking. So, and Hayashi-san, so one of the session speakers, so and her team held a short ideas to encourage interaction among the participants. So the design challenge was how might we wash a hand when we have only one hand available? So in response to the challenge, so a variety of ideas arose. So I'm showing idea sketches. So on the left side, so and one participant immediately realized an idea. So that was fantastic. So even if in really short time, it was just 3 hours long idea song. So it was interesting, and we also did like I say, the tiny survey, so on homemade masks. So the period was from April 2012 to 22. So, and there were, over 60 posts. So interestingly, so 80% were, manual work. So, but about 20% was made masks created with digital fabrication. So, and there were also posts about the effectiveness and maintenance of masks. So, okay, so let me show the website with a movie. So, unfortunately, the site is in Japanese only. So, but maybe you can, see the, content. So, yes, so roughly 80%, 82% are manual. So, and 20% are digital fabrication. For instance, 3D printer, laser cutting, so milling machines like that. So, and we divided into categories. So, a cover for a mask, without filter, with filter. So, and so there were, not so many, so, but 5 posts regarding the, effectiveness and the way of maintenance. So, and after that, so we listed, so, posts so, some various people so made in various ways with various materials, papers, fabric and plastic, wood. So it was really fun to see all this. So and basically the cases are from Japan. So but as you see, so there are international cases like a Hong Kong mask. So, but anyway, so we are really surprised to see so many people try to, make masks. So with various ways. Yes, so, and in the end of the page, so we listed masks created with digital fabrication. Yes, a few companies, published the data, STL file, so to be printed. So and many responded. For instance, this person, so decorated with 3D printed mask with stickers. So I never had such kind of ideas. So was really interesting way to tackle this situation. Okay, so since it's almost the end of my presentation, so I wanna summarize lessons learned from the world since the COVID-19 pandemic. So first of all, so making something with hands can be a power to live amid various stressful situations. So we makers were really, under heavy stress. So, but make something was really helpful to, uh, you know, to so to light power. So it was really helpful. So and combining on-site with online to share the process and the context of works will deepen more than an on-site only event. So it was big learning from Maker Faire Kyoto online. So and hopefully so don't have to be the big event like make a fair. So maybe we can, do our daily activities. So with combining online and on site. So, but the last issue was yes. So still, I don't have answers. So and I'm still struggling actually. But so in situations such as those and their declared state of emergency, so sites with a high level of urgency, so for example, medical field, so tend to receive more attention. So, but in contrast, so everyday life, so which should involve more people, so is a little bit harder to talk about. So yes, it's a kind of priority issue. So that's also related to our mindset. But anyway, so to conclude my presentation, so I want to show an excerpt from the details. So what I wrote for this presentation. So, and the circumstances of the COVID-19 pandemic, all people, including the makers, are a part of it. And makers are good at lateral thinking with matured technology. So that was the reason why. So I proposed the session. So, and that was the reason why. So I wanted to present and share. So what happened in Japan, so regarding the COVID-19 pandemic. So hopefully, so we can keep sharing ideas online through this virtually Maker Faire. So and please feel free to post your comments. So maybe so some of you are watching this live. So and some of you are not live. So maybe so through the recorded archive. So, and please, give me comments, questions. So I will try to answer as much as possible. So anyway, so thank you very much for coming, and hopefully, so you will enjoy the last part of this, memorable so Badgery Maker Faire 2020. So thank you very much.